Guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the test account and the Joyous Celebration is up, which of course is going to yield us some more of our dragon materials. So right here we do have some more Draconis scrolls. So if you're a free-to-play player or even a small dolphin, you're going to have the ability to actually summon a couple more heroes. Now also remember the conversion in diamonds. It is 5,000 diamonds to do 10 summons in there, which means the Draconis scrolls value is around 2,500 diamonds to go ahead and build those out. Now, of course, in here, we got some common scrolls. We have 5 more, which is a total, again, at that 5,000 diamonds. We have more common scrolls, and then we do also have the insignias. Now, these, of course, you can't really find anywhere to buy. You can get 10 kind of here, off here and there. But overall, looking at the conversion rate, we are seeing 50 to 65 of the Draconis scrolls, so very similar to what we've seen with the Stargazer and also with the Curse From to get these heroes. I know some players that have used, 30, 40, 50 of these and have seen 2, 3, 4 copies of the heroes. If you're like me, I went in there and I built out Gwen and I started summoning for Gwen. And overall, when I started summoning for Gwen, it was just absolutely horrible. In addition, this is going to yield you diamonds every single time you go into this event. So pretty cool that they're giving us the ability to get a couple more copies of heroes out of there, hopefully, as well as building out those highborn dragons. Now, also the Temporal Rift is up right now, and the Temporal Rift loot did not change. That is something that we wanted to look at. So we know with the addition of Eugene, and honestly, if you have Eugene built up to 1 star already, which a majority of players do already have Eugene built up to that 1 star, I would not by any means buy this in here. I would get all of the loot out of here. And what we mean by that is looking at the heroes that we currently possess in here. Eugene and really probably the Awakened version of Solus are the only 2 that are still seeing a lot of gameplay or really any gameplay at all. The Awakened version of Brutus, maybe in the tower, maybe a niche formation. But thinking of what is coming down the pipeline for AFK Arena, we know there's going to be collaborations and crossovers. We know there's going to be 3 more Awakened heroes this year. We also know there are going to be more Celestials and Hypos, which means when it comes to our Time Emblem, when it comes to our Stargazer Scrolls, that is what I would really focus on buying and building out in its entirety, having the ability to get those heroes. And of course, the essentially, in my opinion, the value of our Stargazer scrolls do go up a little bit with the addition of the Draconis heroes, because of course, if you're either using the Stargazer cards and the diamonds to go ahead and do those Stargazer summons, or if you're utilizing your diamonds like I am for the Draconis heroes, you're not going to have as many diamonds to go ahead and do the Stargazer, which again really ups the value a little bit on these, because utilizing the cards to do them versus the diamonds, you're kind of, again, splitting resources between all of those. And then, of course, when it comes to our Time Emblems and the Awakened heroes, you want to build them out. We've seen that a majority of the Awakened heroes, especially the newer ones, have been doing incredibly well within a lot of different game modes. And then, of course, the Treasure Vanguard is up, Celestial Isle is up, Temporal Rift is coming up. Also have the reset in the Misty Valley. And then, of course, the Hopeless Isles, which should be up. I believe it is going to be tomorrow. Patch notes on Monday, patch goes live on Tuesday, will be up as well. That is going to yield you, again, some additional Time Emblems in there, which is what we want to look for, guys. You want to be banking all of these, and we don't know exactly when the change is coming for the conversion within here with our probabilities. Even here, Liberta is still at 2%. Temple of Time still shows 2%. Which means we don't know if it's going to be this patch. It could be the next patch. But like we've said before, really holding off to see these summons, because essentially the way that it works mathematically, and they were really explaining it over on Discord, is 2.0 is going to 2.5, which means even though it is only a 2.5% chance, you are having a 25% increased chance essentially from where we are going from 2.0 to 2.5. That means that when you start using your cards, and again, a 25% more chance, out of 100 cards, you're going to have a lot higher probability of getting these heroes and summoning them with possibly multiple copies. So we don't think it's going to be like 600-700 cards to get an Awakened hero. And of course, if you guys remember when I got the Awakened version of Brutus, it was 395 cards, and we actually built him out in his entirety. So it was really cool to see. Now, Dragon Isle, I'm going to hop in here and I'm going to do some summons with what we've gotten for free. You can see we have 55 scrolls in the Dragon Temple. We were going for Gwen. We know we're getting a couple copies of Hilduin, but overall, over here on the test server, because I don't play it a lot, we're going to go ahead and do a couple summons. Wish list, I am keeping all 3 in here. Now, we've been getting pretty lucky with the pulls. Now, of course, looking at Gorge, we need the ability to get more copies of Gorge, and there we go. There is another copy of Hildwyn. Again, I've been seeing them even on the YouTube account, even on the test server. We've been getting lucky with a couple different copies of these heroes, which is really, really cool to see when they do pop up. But I've gotten actually, I believe, 3 copies of the heroes at this point. So definitely building them up a little bit further. There's another copy of Cassius. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my diamonds for our final summon rate in here. And boom, just some more copies of Gorge, which again, I'm okay with it. And then, of course, we're getting a lot of resources. I was hoping this would be added or this would be changed a little bit, very similar to what we see with our regular summons, that we'd actually have the ability to go in here and get some of our draconic emblems or the red chests out of here. I'm hoping that they update this. Then, of course, in here, popular heroes, you can see we finally got him. Hildwyn is still leading the way with Cassius behind. Gwen, Nyla, and Pulina. And of course, when we look at utility, like I had said before, and I'll stress it again, it is very, very early when it comes to these heroes, guys. There are a lot of utilities. There's going to be a lot of changes. We're actually seeing Nyla being used in quite a few places. Even in the current iteration we're seeing on Global, Gwen is being used in a couple places where Hildwyn is not present. But even looking at the previous one, we've seen Hildwyn and Nyla being used. And of course, we haven't went through all of the iterations of the Curse Realm, the Nightmare Corridor, and the Treasure Scramble to see exactly where and if all of these heroes are essentially going to be used. So again, thinking early on the tier list was about a week that I put it together after release. We only seen a hero used in literally 2 places, really. So we're going to have to see where the updated utility comes in. And if we continue seeing Gwen and Nyla in a bunch of different places, chances are they're going to be significantly higher when it comes to that tier list. Let's hop in here, see if maybe we can get another copy. Now, of course, this is giving us our threat emblems and, of course, the scaled emblems in there. But I'm hoping that we can pull a couple copies. And I know some people have pulled some very, very lucky copies out of here. Come on, where's that copy? See, we're having the exact same. So this should be 1, which there we go. There's 1 copy of Gwen. So 50 cards, 1 copy. That is about on par with normal. Probability at that 2.0. Now, I know a couple players that have pulled the diamonds in there. And also remember, though, when you're saving your summons, and right now we are in the phase of saving our summons, is these loot in here, and also within the Stargazer, the loot in here is going to update, is going to change. That is the reason why you have to save those summons. Once we do get this updated, and again, it could be a couple weeks out based on kind of the build, you want to make sure that you're building out those new heroes. Now, in addition, we do have the new Field of Star that is up. Of course, this is on the test server, but getting this one and building this one out, this is a weekly reward. So you want to make sure, and absolutely want to make sure, that you are not completing your weekly quests until you get the ability to build this out. And of course, if you're going in here, engrave at the Wormscale Sanctuary 8 times, you could get a significant amount of threat emblems, and scaled threat emblems are going to be coming out of here. Now, we also know, as it says, there's nothing else in the star as of right now, that we're going to see some more emblems out of here. We're going to see a lot more build out, and having the ability to essentially build these heroes much, much higher is coming in the future updates, in the future patches. Again, we know there's a collaboration coming. We know there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline. And also looking at the Joyous Celebration, we still have a packed full of surprises right there. We still have more dragon perks as they're coming here. And we talked about it with the Dragon Forge earlier. The Dragon Forge is actually going to have additional levels added to it. We don't know if that's going to be in the next patch or possibly the one after. There's a ton of changes that are coming to collections as well. So we have a lot of stuff that is coming to AFK Arena. So, all right, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.